Yep, we are live. We are live. Jack Lee Guitars in the house. This man's studio is evolving as we speak. Sub to Jack Lee Guitars. If you haven't already, sub to Jack Lee Guitars. I had a beautiful Italian dinner tonight at Eldora beside Brownstone, Jack Lee Guitars. Highly recommended. Great Italian food. What's going on here? Okay. Jerry Roush, you are now a mod. Welcome. I was a little worried there because I had my rig set up for a Strat yesterday, and now I plug in that guitar and it sounds totally different. But we're back, baby. Tech 21 doesn't disappoint. It just has so much variation on the active EQ that you gotta start turning some knobs if it doesn't sound right. If you can't get it to sound right, it is your fault. No problem, dude. Yeah, so here's what's going on in my world, in my guitar world. We got Jack Lee Guitars, who is just in the chat. Sub to him. He's setting up a studio about 10 miles down the road from here. And he has a nice big sunny room, and he's going to build rooms within that room. One for a spray booth, one for guitar storage, one for a workroom, different applications. So sub to Jack Lee Guitars. You're going to see a big room go through an evolution. Another thing that's going on is I made a song a few days ago on Suno called The Ballad of the 400, or the Custom 400, I should say. So the Custom 400, I think it changed a lot of people's hearts, and it created inspiration to make a lot of new Suno and AI platform songs. So that was cool, because it's a tough time of the year, and it's good that people get inspired to make something. Maybe they'll make something that touches another person's heart. It's a beautiful thing. In further news, I contacted none other than Voyxu today. Voyxu, Voyxu, username on YouTube, Voyxu. He's got a channel where he talks mainly about vintage guitar mythology, about how these vintage guitars are better than anything else, when in reality, they're not as good as modern day guitars for the most part, and they have a lot of issues, and you couldn't play them live because they don't stay in tune, etc. They can't get set up right, etc. So Voyxu, I see Voyxu as a similar, a kindred spirit to the YDNA movement. Now, Voyxu doesn't talk about amplifiers like that, but Voyxu does use comedy as a method. His main purpose is to expose things that hurt the consumer, basically. Expose mythologies, expose bad construction, bad business practices, bad quality control, capitalism over quality, all those things. So Voyxu, and he uses AI songs, he uses comedy to do this, to accomplish this goal of raising awareness for the consumer that buying a $50,000 Strat from the 60s is not a good investment, okay? So yeah, Voyxu, Voyxu, look them up. One of the main focuses, besides just the guitar vintage market, the rip-off market, is one of the guitar rip-off market's main high priests, one of their bishops, one of maybe ascending to pope, maybe an archbishop of the antique guitar community, a man by the name of Tom Bukovac. So Voyxu makes a lot of videos using Tom Bukovac as a jumpstart topic to address different topics about the vintage guitar community. And that makes sense, because if you follow Tom Bukovac, he'll give you material to use for topics, because he's always trying to buy and sell and flip and make money off of the vintage guitar market, and talk about the secret mojo of different products. So yeah, follow Voyxu. He's not a stalker of Tom Bukovac. Actually, Tom Bukovac is stalking a lot of people's pocketbooks with mythologies and selling dreams instead of realities. So that's that's where they intersect. Okay, that's where YDNA, Andy Lederman, and Voyageur, Gus. That's where they intersect. His name is Gus. Um, Gus talks about the guitar ripoff market and the antique money drain, and YDNA shows gut shots of modern amplifiers from 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, compares them to things that are more quality built. So as a guitar consumer, these two people are some of the main advocates for the truth and not just paying for a brand name spanked on top, but paying for quality. So Voyageur has accepted to go on Andy Lederman Live and talk about these things. I think Voyageur has a substantial amount more members than Andy Lederman does. Voyageur is probably closer to 20 or 30,000. The vintage guitar market is probably something that hits more people than just quality guitar amplifiers. People are searching for these special vintage guitars like a Sword in the Stone out there. You know, they're like Lancelot trying to pull the sword in the stone. And really, they're chasing mythologies and dreams. And it's very similar to how YDNA talks about the amplifier market. Now, YDNA, he's got a great way of breaking it down for you, because he'll just show gut shots on the screen. And he'll talk about layouts, wiring, component quality. It's very easy for him to just say, oh, is that what you think? Let's look at it and compare. And after you do the comparison, it's pretty clear. You know, you got a Google Earth shot of what's going on, right? So that's right. So Jerry Rauch, they are spearheading a good movement, and I'm just here to try to make things happen and push that movement along. And I'm very grateful that I've got Jack Lee Guitars here locally, who is an amazing luthier. And then remotely, I support, and I have the support of YDNA. So let's, in the chat, in YDNA's chat in the next few days, remind them, hey, you got to get Voyageur, Voyxu, you got to get Gus on. So sub to Voyageur and remind Mr. Lederman, get Gus on the show, get Voyageur on the show. They can both play some of their AI songs. They can both talk about myths on the market. They can talk about where the consumer gets ripped off. And they can talk about their own experiences as musicians. They've both been professional musicians playing out and about in the world. So it's going to be a wonderful thing when you got a fellow myth buster, comedian, professional musician, guitar player. This synergy is going down soon. So push Andy along in the right direction. Let's see this thing. All right, guys. Peace.